All right, so I have in my hand the Sony FX2. If you came to me and say, Greg, I'll trade you that FX2 for the new Sony A7V, what would your answer be? And I would say, I'll hang on to my FX2. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the rolling shutter. And I was watching Mark Weimel's video, and I like Mark. I've been watching him for a long time, so I would recommend you check out his channel. But I have to disagree with him slightly he's pretty much trashing the sensor from the A7 IV, which is the same sensor that's in the FX2. I cannot disagree with him that, the readout speed on that sensor is very slow, and it makes for potentially some horrific jello. You can get some really bad rolling shutter if you shoot like this all day long. Right? I don't shoot like this all day long. I'm not shooting tennis. I'm not shooting Formula One. I'm not shooting fast action sports, right? If that's your use case, get a different camera, but don't complain about this one. I think of it like this, like if you've got the Olympics and you got the 50 meters, right? And you've got all these elite athletes running the 50 meters, and the person that comes in last and they lose by a few milliseconds in the 50 meters in the Olympics, are they a bad runner? Is it just the worst ever? No, they're just the worst of the best in the world, right? And this is one of the best cameras in the world, arguably, in my mind. I can do everything with it. I can do off-camera flash with it, and then I can turn around and I can do extended interviews with it. I can do it's my main video camera, right? It does everything. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cameras, and you just have to be able to work around a little bit of rolling shutter. Make sure you're not shooting like this all day, right? And who does that anyway, right? Who does that? Most people, on the A7 IV rolling shutter tests and things like that, they go, oh, that's not that bad. I can live with that, right? But then there's people that are like, oh, hell no. Right? There's just no way I'm going with that. So like I said, depends on your use case. And if I want to do this all day long, maybe I'll just crop into Super 35 and then my readout speed is down to 12 or 13 milliseconds, right? It's how you move the camera. What are your camera movements? You stay away from aggressive panning. Rolling shutter, it just doesn't bother me. There's sometimes a little bit in there, but no one notices that stuff. Like the people that are not photographers, they don't notice that stuff. And it makes me think about pixel peeping in the photography world and how many times we'll post photos and you always get some jackass that wants to come in there and pixel peep and comment, ooh, what's that up in the corner? It's like, who cares? Look at the photo as a whole. No one's looking at some little thing that you pixel peeped in over here on the edge of the screen. They're not. They're just not. And I feel like it's the same thing with rolling shutter. Like it's not that big of a deal. We've had cameras for years that had lots of rolling shutter, and now suddenly it's a big deal. So which camera do you want at the end of the day? The one that's still running at the end of the day because it has active cooling, or the one that you have to worry about overheating? And we know that in the recent releases from Sony, all this stuff overheats that doesn't have active cooling, right? So it'll be really interesting to see, and I don't know yet, right? I haven't seen any tests or any videos as of the recording of this video testing how long it takes for the camera to overheat. Does it overheat at all? I don't know. But right now, I'm saying if you asked me right now, I would say I want the camera that I know for podcasts, for interviews. Those are my use cases. I know it's still going to be running at the end of the day, as long as I give it power, right? That's a given. And then the other thing about this is it's got that active dynamic stabilization. It's so gimbal-like. I can get some really smooth, almost gimbal-like movements if I'm real careful with my movement. Maybe use a heavier lens than what I have on here, and it just really, like, it's super nice. And we only had that, I mean, to my knowledge, like on the ZVE1, and it would overheat like the devil. There might have been one or two other like vlogger based type cameras that had the dynamic active stabilization. I really love that, and that was a selling point in this camera, and I think the A7V is probably going to have that as well. All right, I almost forgot, like, what about this viewfinder? Well, I like it. I'm a photographer first, right? So we love our viewfinders. I had the FX30. This thing smokes the FX30. I mean, I'm sorry, other than rolling shutter, everything else about this smokes the FX30. I mean, it's just so versatile. The thing about the FX30 that bothered me was it didn't have a viewfinder. And I couldn't just walk outside on a super bright sunny day here in Texas and see the screen. You can't see it, okay? You got to go back inside, and then what good does that do when you're trying to judge your exposure, right? Try and do this to see if you're in the ballpark and what your ND filter is at and all that. It's a pain in the ass. So when they put this viewfinder on here, I was like, okay, that's a huge selling point for me, and that's the reason why, right? And plus, on the photography side, we really need the viewfinder. We really like to have that. So that is, for that reason, I really like the viewfinder. And you guys just making drama about how it sticks out and how's it going to fit in your bag and all that. Come on. Like, it sticks out no more than putting a big lens on your camera, right? I mean, come on. You guys are just making up stuff. You're nitpicking. It's laughable. If I did get the A7V, I don't have it in my hands, so I don't like to, I can't review it and I can't say, but just based on paper alone, I mean, it seems like it's going to be a great camera. I don't know that I'll ever buy it. Maybe I will, maybe I'll change my mind about this in a year. Maybe my use cases will change. Maybe I'll need 4K 120. I ask myself these questions though, like, if I get this camera over here, what's the return on investment in that? Is it going to make me more money because it has those features? Is it going to make my life easier because it has these features? Am I going to save a lot of time? Is it going to improve my efficiency and just, really make my workflow, revolutionize my workflow? Those two things, right? Is it going to revolutionize my workflow, or is it going to be a huge return on investment, right? Is it going to make me money because I have those features? If I can't say yes to both of those, then I'm not going to buy the camera. You guys, thanks for watching. Leave your comments. Leave me your thoughts. If you are like more experienced videographer than I am, I'm not, definitely not a cinematographer. Leave your thoughts below and let me know what you think. Leave constructive criticism and thoughts. I look forward to seeing them. So you guys have a good one.